Tying up a Bucktail streamer Carrie Stevens pattern today from the Hilliard book. This is called the F.R.S. Special. Now, I'll read a little history here about it, just real quick, because it's kind of interesting. France Reese Smith is who this is named after. There were two flies, a F.R.S. Fancy and an F.R.S. Special. He had a place up in the Davenport Rangeley Lake area, and he had a guide named Walter Skeet Davenport in that area that said that when Carrie had created these two patterns for him, that he stopped fishing all other flies. He would have two rods out, and they did a lot of trolling with these, but he would have two rods out. One would have the F.R.S. Fancy and one the F.R.S. Special, and that's all he would fish with. So a little bit of interesting history there. She doesn't have a whole lot of bucktail patterns that she did, but this is one of them, and soon I'll be doing a video on the F.R.S. Fancy. So that's the F.R.S. Special. I'll get busy tying. I'm going to start the F.R.S. Special with my hook on the vise. This is a Partridge CS5-9X in a size 4. I went with this hook because it's a little bit shorter, and because this is just a belly of bucktail and a wing of bucktail, then the bucktail doesn't have to be so long. It is a silver tinsel body, but I'm going to start with a Danville 210 in white. I'm going to lay down a foundation of thread here so that I can do a double layer of tinsel on this. And I'll put some flex cement along the thread wraps here just to help secure that tinsel. So I've gone ahead and tied in the tinsel here for the body. Tinsel that I'm using is a Danville size 10 silver and gold Mylar tinsel. Tied that with the gold side up. I'm going to put a layer of Dave's Flex Cement on here. And that is just to help adhere that Mylar tinsel to the thread base here. Mylar tinsel has a lot of memory in it. If you've never used it before, it can slips out of your fingers, come uncoiled very, very easily, as well as if you're fishing it and you're fighting a fish or something like that and it breaks, then it can come all unraveled and the fly is essentially no good. I have to cut it all off and start over again. So this gives it a little bit more longevity, that's all. With that done, I will wrap in the double layer of tinsel for the body. Finish off that body up here, up in the head space. I'll anchor that tinsel in, wraps, cut away the excess. A little bit extra flex cement there that kind of squeezed out, but that's all right. Again, as a fishing fly, this just means it's going to be a little bit more durable. Wrap my thread down about 2 eye lengths behind the eye of the hook. Here I'm going to put in the belly. Okay, had a bit of a mix-up there. That transition was needed because after I had finished the body here, I went to tie the belly in. And on so many of her Carrie Stevens flies, she has a white bucktail belly on this. The F.R.S. Special has white bucktail in it and red bucktail, but the belly's actually red and the wing is white. And I guess my head was on autopilot or whatever, so I went ahead and put in the white belly and then the red throat, and then realized that I had messed up. So I had to go back and straighten all that out. So the belly is actually some red bucktail, and you're wanting to keep this kind of sparse. I've already got some and have prepped this. You're going to tie this in so it's maybe about 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch past the bend of the hook. Securing that in, I'll trim away the excess red bucktail. I'm going to bring my thread down towards the eye of the hook, and I'm going to change over to my red thread. I'm using a Danville 70 Denier in red. The head on this actually is a red head with a black band. So I'm going to put the red on here and secure the tag end of the red and wind backwards to secure the white thread. Then I can trim those both away. Now I can tie in the throat, which is some red schlappen. It's just red hackle fibers, and I'm using some schlappen for this. We're going to have almost where we tied in the belly, we're going to have one clump of red about halfway down the belly that gets tied in right on the very bottom of the hook. Advancing forward just a little bit, we're going to then tie in 2 more clumps that are more or less on kind of on the side, but on the bottom of the side. These are to help to cover up thread wraps for the belly and the throat. And then the last bit of the throat will go over here on this side. Same thing. 2 wraps in to secure that. Especially since this does not have a feather wing, so there's nothing that is going to cover it up. I suppose I should have gone a little bit further back because that white thread would then be totally covered. I guess it'll be covered on top, but you might see a little bit on the side. Cleaning up the head space here a little bit, I'm going to position my thread to tie in the white bucktail. I have another bump that I have prepped here. You can make this a little bit thicker than the belly if you want, because if there's any buoyancy in this, it's going to keep this part of the hook riding up. It's interesting because most of your bait fish are going to have the white belly and the darker hair on top, but this one, she tied it in this way. So I shall secure that in, trim away the excess. I'm going to trim this at a little bit of an angle so that it tapers down towards the head. And then I'm going to clean this up, getting a nice red head on here. A little wax on my thread. I shall secure the red thread here. Now I'll attach my black in the middle to make a black band. This is a Danville 70 Denier in black. Just going to make that right in the middle here, taking care to make certain it's not too wide and too bulky. I just want to cover up any red thread underneath there. A little bit of wax on my thread. Once again, I'll do about a 4-turn whip finish here. Making certain that I keep that all in that black band. Snug that down and trim away the rest of that thread. See, I got a little bit of the white showing right here. Suppose I could have, on this side, you see the throat and the white kind of match up and obscure it, but this side doesn't. So I suppose I could have taken that bucktail and maybe my thumbnail and kind of squished it down around a little bit more so it covered more of the top. Or here's the thing, I think that I could tie in the belly further up in the head space here, and it's not going to bulk it up too much. But I'm trying to focus on doing these how Carrie Stevens did them, and to the best of my knowledge, that's what she did. She tied in the bellies further down on the hook shank here and worked her way forward. And I think, again, that was to keep things from getting too bulky here, but I may be wrong. A little bit of head cement on here, and then I'll come back and put a couple of coats of clear lacquer on here to help reinforce that head. And the F.R.S. special is complete. She did not do a lot of bucktail streamers, but some of the ones that she did were very, very popular, and this is one of them. Thanks for watching today. Thank you for joining me at the Vise today. I hope you learned a new pattern, at least a tip or trick here and there. If you'd like to help Dress Irons, you can like, comment, share, subscribe, all those wonderful things for the video. You can also head out to dressedirons.com where you can buy flies, tools, stickers, and merch, or you can join a growing community over on Locals at the Dressed Irons Fly Tying Guild. You can also donate to Dressed Irons if you want through the link at the bottom of the description. I thank everybody for their ongoing support, as it really does help the creation of these videos. But what's important is to remember, only fly tying. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong.